Hello, I'm Anita Jorgensen of Anita Jorgensen Lighting Design, and sitting with me are two of my key team members, Naomi Castillo and Timothy Holm. We've been working on a number of very interesting projects together. Konica Minolta has been a very integral part of a few of our recent and, let's say, most fun projects.
On museum projects using the Konica Minolta meters, specifically the T10A illuminance meter, which is an extremely useful tool when looking at critical conservation levels for a piece of artwork. We primarily look at the illuminance values in foot candles and try to meet what has been established by the conservator. But the new CL500A meter has also been useful as far as determining sort of color rendering values and establishing the quality of the light sources that we use in those projects.
In a number of instances, it just becomes so useful because it confirms what we're describing that we see. And sometimes in trying to describe a subjective impression, it could be, well, that's what you see, but how do you really know that's the case?
It does give that spectral distribution curve, and you can sort of confirm the existence of UV, which is often a concern for the conservators. And using that meter, it can sort of lead you in the right direction. Do we need to reduce the amount of UV? Do we need a UV shield? Or are we okay?
Exactly. And this can tell us on the curve exactly where the energy is on the spectral distribution curve. The exhibition was at the Museum of the City of New York. The artist, painter, her name is Janet Rutenberg, lovely woman, and she works supersize, about 15 feet across by about 9 feet tall. And she painted the scene in very kind of velvety blacks, and it was a canvas that absorbed all of the light. It was overlaid with a projection of fragments of people dancing the tango in this one location, as well as a few odd New York characters in odd costume. In the preliminary test, we used both. What we like about the T10 illuminance meter is that we can turn it on, walk across a painting, and see the levels live changing, and we hold it very close to the work so that we can confirm that all of the levels have a range no greater in quantity of light than 1 foot candle. 1 foot candle and any more than 1 foot candle is actually legible, and people won't necessarily know why something looks different towards the edge of a painting, but they'll just notice that it's not quite the same over there as it is over there. We had a pre-test before lighting the show where we measured the color temperature of the existing lighting in the room. And the previous exhibition had cool filters, so our color temperature was kind of pushed over into around 3,400 Kelvin. Not too cool, just a smudge, just a tint, let's say. We removed those filters, used halogen sources, and the color temperature we measured was 2950, in that range. Then we measured the projector's source, which is very cool, and it measured about just the lamp itself without going through any film. Just the lamp is at about 3700 Kelvin, so noticeably cooler. We had this very dark, kind of mysterious painting that absorbed all of the light, and we established the color temperature that worked best with the projection, and also the illuminance that worked best with the projector. To our surprise, it was only, the painting only really required 6.5 foot candles. Then when the projection was laid on top, it was partial projections, the projection would add another 6.5 foot candles. So maximum was in the range of, let's say, 13 foot candles, where the areas of the canvas had both the painting lighting and the projection. And it was just such a fun process. And we had the luxury of doing a test beforehand, so when it came time to actually lighting the show, we knew exactly what direction to go in.